So here's our rig again. I'll show the textures where we go grab the textures, where we go connect the textures. We go to General, Editors, File Path Editor. So again, if you go File Path Editor, um, if the textures are not connected, this will be red with the white cross. So you go Read Path Files and just check if the name is it's where you want it. If it's not, you just go to the place where you put your art 225B game advanced idle advanced rig and go into source images. Source images is probably in the folder where the rig is. The rig is in scene, but you want to go into source images where the textures is and press set and then press repath. So after this, when this turns green, that means all the textures are connected. So next, again, we want to uh, do the uh, locator on the sword and then parent onto the hand. So let's create a locator. And I press and hold V to snap the point onto the sword. Place it where somewhere in the middle of the sword. And name this. So for the sword, I think I just want to use parent instead of a parent constraint because I may want to adjust the sword when he has the sword in his hands. So in that case, I will select the sword because it's reference. I can't select it. I want to unreference the sword. So now I can select the sword and I'll middle mouse drag the sword onto the sword locator. So now uh, the sword is a child of the locator. So if I select the locator, I can move the sword around. So the last demo, I didn't really have a locator on the hand, but in this case, uh, if if you are not going to say do an animation of grabbing and pulling out the sword or from the bag, you could constrain the sword onto like the one of these control, either the wrist or the fingers. I think the wrist might be fine, but if you want to do a grabbing, I would recommend building another locator onto the hand. So let's do that for now. Let's create another locator. We'll call this locator. This is right hand. And I'll snap press V and oops, press V and snap it to where I think the sword will be, kind of on the palm of the hand. Next, I want the this locator to be a child of the wrist. So meaning I will select the this wrist controller, then select locator, the hand locator. On, press, go, maintain, constrain, and then add. So now if I rotate the locator, I will rotate the controller of the hand, the locator would rotate to it with it. So next, I want to bring the sword over to the hand. So one way is to use I could snap. Where's the snap? I lost my snap. I think, but I'll just position then so it's more precise. So placing the sword where I want it to be. So you kind of want to have a little uh, sort of tilt on the placement of the sword, because I remember one of the videos said you can't really break your wrist if you want the sword to point forward. If you want the sword to, you can't break it too much. So having the sword tilt a little bit would give it that makes it look more natural. Tilt a little bit makes it look more natural. If the sword is sort of perpendicular to your fist, you would have to break your wrist to give it that tilt. So one way to fix that is, of course, to just animate the sword down, to rotate the sword down. But then the other way is at the neutral position, you want the sword to tilt down a little bit, not too much. So here I could do a parent constraint from the hand locator to the sword, or now that they are the locator is separate, I can actually parent the sword to the hand locator, which gives a little more control if they are just parent other than parent constraint. So let's see if that works. If I drag this middle mouse onto the hand, so if I rotate the hand, and I still have control over the locator sword if I need to rotate it. So if I rotate this way, the hand would drive it and would keep the rotation of the sword. So this is the advantage of having like multiple constraint and multiple locators or curves onto your sword. So you have you can still edit your motion if you need to. Uh, Again, like the other thing, this is a FK arm right now, and this is the IK arm. So you notice that the controls are different. Again, in FK arm, you can rotate to get into your poses that you want. And an IK arm, inverse kinematic, is just you grab the in this case the wrist, and then you can position. So if depends on what you are animating. If he's holding on to his waist while slashing, it might be good to just have this as an IK. But um, for the hand holding the sword, um, I animate both ways, either with an IK or FK. The last demo I did it with an FK, I mean with an IK. This time I'll try animating with an FK arm. So before that, let's close up the fingers. So to close the fingers, I select this little control, and then I'll do the fingers one at a time. First is the thumb. I just want to rotate on the thumb Z axis, and I may want to rotate the last two digits more, or maybe the last one. So it's penetrating a little too much. If it's penetrating too much, I can grab the sword locator and then maybe move it in. So hopefully it's not too much. And then on the other fingers, for the index, middle, ring. So I'm pressing control and select oops, multiple attributes, and then mostly on the actually all on the Z, and then middle mouse drag and close them. So, so I noticed that the when I close them, the penetration on the handle will be is a little too much. I'll adjust that later, but let's close the fingers first. Let's close the pinky first. Maybe a little more on the end. Then the ring, middle finger, oop, and then the index. So I can still go in and move the thumb if I need to. Rather than selecting this control, I can select these controllers on the fingers. So now I want to adjust the sword more to reduce the penetration. So this positioning it in a way that it looks natural. So so that should do it. So uh, um again, you could animate with FK if you want to. If you want to switch to IK, select this little kind of diamond shaped thing on the hand, and you'll see a bunch of settings here. On the IK, the topmost IK, FK, if you want to switch this to IK, press 0. It didn't do anything yet. but now you kind of have a IK control now, and then you have to turn on the view of the controls, which is view IK control, which is here, turn on, and view palm control. Let's see what this is. And then turn off the FK controls. So I mean, you have to, if you want to switch to either FK, IK, first one, the first is with the IK, FK switch, the view IK controls and view FK controls, either 1 or 0 or 0 or 1. And then now you could have you have a, oops, because now you have the you are using the IK control, you have to reparent. So let's do reparent, reconstrain. On if I guess you have to constrain before you switch between your FK or IK. So that would be fairly easy. You can just delete this chain and select the hand. I will select the IK control, select the hand locator, and then go again parent constraint. So now you'll see the chain again, and then now you could it would do the same thing. It would drive the hand and the sword. But I want to animate with the FK this time. So let me turn it back to FK. Zero. So this is kind of the demo for the constraints. Why don't you guys take the rest of the like 20 minutes and work on